welcome back to another episode of Nessy Builds, episode 2 officially. If you haven't seen episode 1, I suggest going back and checking it out and seeing what's what. But today we are on to episode 2 in a new area, and it's 1.16 finally. It has been officially released, which is very exciting. Oh, look at that sunset. Yes. All right, we're chasing the darkness now. So if you watched the last episode, we're heading over to the island where we are going to start building. Oh, a lot closer than I thought I was. Let's go over here. There she is. So, our new camp. Look at this. Got it all set up, looking really nice. Nice little campfire here right on the beach, which is awesome. Ooh, ink. And got some supplies and things that we need, but that is not the priority right now. We gotta go sleep. And there we are. Okay. So, we're on a beach, on an island. This island is the northernmost area of the island. Of course, there's a little kind of a fork in the waterway here. It goes both ways. It does not continue this way though. It just kind of ends over there, and then this one actually continues on all the way through into the to a larger lagoon. And so, yeah, it's a nice little area. It's a nice little area. Good place to start. Let's take a look at the map really quick. Okay, we're here, sort of. We're like here, I think, right here. This is that one waterway I was telling you about. This is there's a little bit of water connecting over here, but this is the other one that I was talking about here. So this is the island, and we have a couple different lagoons and areas that we can kind of build in. This is more of a deep water area here. This one's a little shallower, and then down here on the south side is some pretty shallow water. So yeah, it's pretty good size, a couple hundred blocks tall and wide, and then over here we have some extreme hills, and then we have a pretty large hill right here, and a few other little other hills right in this area here and here. So they're pretty diverse. It's mostly forest. There's birchwood and oakwood here, but it's not going to stay that way. Let's talk about plans. We are going to be turning this island into kind of a Caribbean old school kind of pirate. If you've ever seen the Pirates of the Caribbean, you probably know the style that I'm talking about. We're kind of going after the old Caribbean forts, I guess is what they would call them. There's a couple of them out there. Some are really, really big and beautiful, and there's some gorgeous architecture on them. Others are kind of in ruins, so we're going to kind of make our own thing off of it. And that's kind of what I'm wanting to do on this island here, is basically turn it into kind of a large Port Royal kind of feel to it. So we'll have a big fort up on one of the hills or multiples of the hills, and we'll have areas down here on the beach that are going to have buildings, and we'll have different docks and things like that, different places that people can bring their stuff and their wares in, and we'll utilize the different bays in the area to deliver different goods and do different things. So if we head on this way, we will see kind of sort of a couple of the hills. The main one is over there. Let's get higher. Okay, so we're standing on top of the tent. That hill over there, that's kind of the one that I'm eyeing up for the main fort area, kind of the main house, the chateau house, if you will, of the island. All these trees are going to have to go. None of these are tropical trees, so we're going to have to take all these trees down. We'll have to go through and change out some of this dirt in the water with sand, because, well, I mean, it's supposed to be a nautical theme, so obviously we have to have sand everywhere. So all this will end up getting blanketed with new sand, and then the beaches will be brought up a little bit higher. We'll do just a little bit of terraforming down here, but not a whole lot, because I don't want to spend all the time doing the terraforming. I want to do some time building. Okay, so we're a little bit in. This is the bay area that we just were in This is going to kind of be the main one and have kind of the main look that we're going for. And then the actual fort is going to go up in this area that is completely covered in trees. It's going to go up in here, and we want it to be a little bit higher up because it's important to have the high ground in that kind of situation. You know, you got ships attacking or whatever, you have cannons aimed everywhere. Kind of a good place for the fort to be up here, and it kind of juts up here and then here as well. And so we're gonna kind of whether bring this up or level it off just a little bit and put our fort right up here. So we got a little bit of work left to do here. We just got to this island though. We just got here, so we got a little bit of time to kind of scope things out and get an idea of what we want. I really like both of these sides, and if we come over here, boink, boink, boink. And from here, you can actually see this bay up here. You can see this bay over here. And if we come over to this little hillside right here, you can see the southern part of the island here with kind of this open water area. So this whole thing up here is going to be different bits and pieces of the fort and the base. Now I got to figure out if I'm going to go ahead and take all these trees out and kind of see what we're dealing with, or if we want to leave them in and just kind of start mapping out some of the area that we want to use. I'm thinking taking trees out is going to be our best bet, especially up here on this hill. So I'm going to get cracking on that, and I'll check back in with you here in a few minutes after I've chopped some trees down. All right, so we've cleared out some of the trees up here, and it's all cleared off for now, except for these flowers and the bees over there. I kind of want to get a beehive going before I start considering pulling that down. But so yeah, this is a pretty big area. We'll have to add some dirt and stuff to help round this hill off a little bit more, because right now it just kind of drops off in some places, and there's some places that aren't exactly useful to build anything large scale on. So we're going to kind of fill this in a little bit more, make this more of an organic shape. I know I mentioned I don't like terraforming, but yeah, something like this, like we're going to have to do something just to help it along just a little bit. The shape is nice. I like how it looks, but there's just a few little things that we want to clean up, like these edges and stuff. And then take a look at the map right here. You know what? Let's make it back to the tent first. We'll put it up on the wall. Okay, so here is a map. I went ahead and zoomed it out one more, but this is the area that we're looking at right here. It's pretty good size. I think realistically we're probably looking at this smaller area here, kind of the inner part of this, but it should make an interesting building. We'll probably do a larger area over here, kind of a large courtyard area, and then this area right here will kind of be the actual fortress part, and then we'll have some walls and fortifications down along the sides with with cannons and little windows, and we'll scatter a dungeon in there and get some other cool things going on in there, and then of course as we continue building, grab these maps real quick. Let's see here, which one here? This one here. Yeah, that's a pretty good area right there, especially considering you can actually see the different bays from these places. And the more I look at this, the more I'm thinking that this will be more of for the naval fleet, and this will be more for like more of a town setup. There's a little more room here for us to be able to do that. So I think that this is going to be kind of the trade area here, and then this will be more of the naval fleet area, and then up in this area we might put some fortifications along these, like a tower or two, just to watch over this section up here since it's so far away, because we can see down here and we can see over here and we can see over here, but we can't see quite as well over in this area. Like I said, it's going to need a little bit of love up there, but it should turn out okay, I think. And then let me get to mapping this out, and we'll kind of map out what we want our structure to look like and kind of what shape we're going to go for and stuff. And then yeah, I'll check back in with you here in a little bit. Well, I have been busy with some stuff. This is the start of the whole base. Cleared everything out, added some dirt and some andesite. Added some andesite over here. It looks really actually it looks terrible. It's completely terrible. This is just a wireframe, getting a kind of an idea. You can kind of see the how it just kind of breaks off there. I'm just coming up here because I want to get rid of this thing. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Oh goodness, he's angry. Okay. Man, they get angry and they stay angry. Goodness. So we've been working on this up here for a little while. Got kind of a general idea of what it's going to look like. Oh, he's fine now. Okay. Aggro then stopped. Okay, so we have kind of an idea of what we're going to be doing up here now. We have a nice, two nice sized platforms. I'm thinking down here we'll have kind of like a little courtyard kind of thing, like an open air courtyard. And then up here we're going to have the actual like fortress area that's going to be pretty fortified up here. We'll have a small building up here. It's not going to be super tall. Most of them are actually pretty small because they kind of have to survive like the nautical weather and stuff. So it's going to be a little bit shorter. And then over here, this will be kind of a bit of a taller tower, just to kind of look over the area a little bit more. And you know, we'll have all of our housing and armory and treasury area and everything like that to store here. And I mean, the sunsets are just wonderful up here. So I've been working on this for quite a while. Next, so it looks a little bit different. It looks quite a bit different than when we left off. So the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting some wireframing in for how the buildings are actually going to look. So we'll get a wireframe up for the tower and kind of a general idea of what the building is going to look like, as well as some color palettes. Oh, I forgot to mention. So this is actually going to come down off this hillside a little bit. It's going to kind of if you can imagine it, it'll kind of go out and down like that, just a little bit at an angle. You know, that's just kind of that's kind of the look that a lot of them went for. And again, they were on the ocean, so they had to withstand, you know, some pretty crazy weather out there. So I'm gonna get to working on that, trying to get this beehive moved out of the way, so that way we can actually do work out there without accidentally killing bees. Because that is not good no matter where you're at. So, let me go to sleep. Let me work on this some more. I'll get back with you in just a moment. Well, it's been a little while, and we've made some progress. Last we checked in, we had a little wireframe going, and we've continued on with that plan. And so now we have a structure built here. We'll get to it here in just a moment, but we had to do a little bit of work mining and getting materials and things like that, but we have a nice start here. So if you look on here, let me get up here. So here we go. We got three sections to this whole complex, and the first section is over here. This is kind of the courtyard area. This is where you would first come in at. They would have you would have different things available here, and maybe a little garden, a little farm, things like that. But this is on top of that first hill on the right hand side, and so you could see this lagoon over here, and then over on this side you can look out and you can see south of the complex over here. You know, we've gone over a little bit on the on the hillside a little bit. So we've expanded the hillside, but yeah, so this is this little area right here. They would use this for different events and ceremonies and things like that. So this little thing here, really, really nice. Not quite done with it. We're gonna do some stuff up here. Obviously, there's some detailing work that needs to be done here, so we'll get to that soon. And then if we head up the stairs here, we have our second building of the complex, which is our this is kind of our bunker, actual fort building. This is where all the action would take place at, and there's these small windows and stuff, and of course the interior is empty right now. That is something we're going to be working on. There is a second floor to this, and the second floor up here is going to have our main cannons in it. I know this isn't really standard for buildings like this, but it seems like a sensible place to put them. It's a little bit higher up, so you get a little more of a trajectory out to the bays. So yeah, this is the second building to the complex. It's not super huge, but it'll definitely do. It'll definitely do. This isn't going to be any living quarters or anything like that. It's going to be mainly military type stuff, meeting rooms and armories and things like that in here. And there'll be a basement. Of course, this won't be grass. We're gonna put some stone things in here, and then over here we'll have kind of the living quarters of different people. So we'll have like a little bunkhouse for soldiers, and we'll have underneath this we'll actually have a more secure bunker for whoever the important person is there, and we'll have some cannons and things like that set up over here as well. So we have a good start on this. I had to relocate some bees, so they're in there now. Yeah, got a good start on this. Feeling pretty good about where it's going. And let's go down to the side. Oh, we could see it from here. The sides, I didn't want to stair step them down too much, so I used some of these andesite walls to help step it a little more gradually down. I got to go through and kind of mess this up a little bit. It's a little too neat for my taste. And then yeah, I gotta add a little more texture in there. Something else, another little detail down here is these here, these holes, patched holes in the wall. During different battles and things like that, cannon fire comes from the ocean, and it comes up and hits this building. So sometimes they get holes in the building. They have to patch it up, and it'll look differently based on the texture pack, of course. But this is just the standard texture pack for now. There we go. So as nighttime kind of comes around, yeah, this is what I'm working on, and again, we'll be working on this other part over here. It'll be a little bit taller than our main area here, and then so we still have a lot of work to do on this. We got a whole nother building to do. My goal with this episode is just to get the structures in, and then in the next episode we'll kind of get more into detailing this out and making it look more interesting, make it look better. And then at the same time, there will be another video coming out of kind of the textures and how to make builds more interesting and more immersive. I call it texturing, but it could be confused with texture packs. So yeah, we'll be going into that a little bit more because yeah, it's interesting, and it's one of those things that it's kind of hard to do. And so having resources out there available for people is kind of a good thing, because not everyone thinks about that. So we'll get that going, but we still got camp down here. Yeah, so I'm going to continue working on this, get the other structure in, and we'll check back in here in a little while. Hey guys, just wanted to pop in really quick and show you something, because this is something that I have been working on, and I know a lot of you have, maybe not a lot of you, but some of you have probably struggled with in the past, and that's adding a little more depth to your depth to your builds. And so I'm working on this this fort here, and I don't know if you notice anything about it. Obviously this one's been textured already. I've done all the texturing down here. I got a little bit left to do up here, but it's just about done. But over here, yeah, it looks a little flat, doesn't it? Kind of all the blocks mixed together, these blocks mixed together with these blocks, and mixed together with these blocks. And you got to remember, you know, you got to think about perspective as well. So, you know, you're going to be looking at it from way down here, and that looks pretty flat to me. So I'm going to show you something you can do really, really quick to fix that issue. I am in creative mode right now. I typically build in survival, but it's just easier to fly out and show you a thing. But stuck? You push you? There's a beehive in there, so they're trying to go in there. Anyway, something you could do really, really quick is add just a little variation stone. A little variation of stone there. You can use cobblestone, whatever you want. We're going for kind of a stronger fort kind of feel to it, so we don't want to do cobblestone because it feels a little, it doesn't feel quite as strong. But you just go in here, and I just did like the middles here. We'll add a couple of extra little ones here, there, here. Get out of here. We'll add these ones to the middle and a couple here on the top and the bottom. Grab a few right here. You and you are gone. Put that there. Yeah, so just a few blocks even, and let's go take a look at the difference really quick. The difference, you're going to be really surprised here, because it doesn't take a whole lot to add a little more texture to it. Even, let's add a little bit more. So just varying these blocks a little bit really brings out the, really brings out the depth in a build. And so that's something that I do to help with that. And it's not even necessarily like, you know, it's been hit by a cannonball, but, you know, just to make it look a little bit different, add a little more depth to it, break up the texture just a little bit. And you can already see, I mean, that's a huge improvement. And, you know, that's just adding one different block to it. So just breaking up that texture a little bit, because whenever you have a solid wall of texture like this, things tend to get lost depth-wise. And so that really helps in bringing that depth back, because now if we scoot way back here, it actually has a little more depth to it than it did before. And, you know, I mean, it won't render from here. Yeah, it might render from here. Yeah, there it goes. So like from back here, you can see a definite difference between that and that, which is nice. Which is nice and something that we want to see. And you'll see kind of nighttime here. The light will help change that just a little bit. But I just want to pop in and show you that. I'm still working on this. I got the got some turrets up here. These are just done with some wither skeleton skulls, and I've started to hash out some of the interior here. Got a lot of the blocks laid, finished up these walls. I got to put some stuff behind them so they're a little more you can't see through them like that. That's just detail stuff there. And then back here we'll have our larger room space. So yeah, still coming along. Just wanted to pop in and show you that little bit. Yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Alrighty, so it's been a little while, and we're done, sort of. The exterior is done, and so yeah, that's it. That's all of it. Let me show you it. That's a tree. Oh, the Wandering Trader. So this is it. The final completed thing. Obviously, we have a lot of detailing left to do on here. You know, I've kind of detailed the outside just a little bit with some mossy stone and some andesite and things like that. But you've already seen this part. This is the little courtyard. The thing I added to it was this wall right here. It kind of looked better from the outside. I don't really care for it in here, but it looks better from the outside. You can still see over it at the very least. And this base was kind of based off of the naval bases you would see in like the Caribbean and on a lot of coastlines in the southern part of the U.S. and Spain. I think had a couple of them that look similar to this. It's not based off of a single one, but I've taken some inspiration from all of them. And the courtyard is one of the things that nearly every single one of them had. And this would be used for, official things, like people getting promoted, sentencing people, things like that. So it has this. It looks nice. This building here, this is the kind of the administrative building. This is where all the generals would be at, prepping their battles, and there'd be a nice little armory in here. And the interior has been done with some concrete powder and some concrete for the walls, and of course, dark oak for the ceiling. A couple rooms in here needs some detail, and that'll be something I'll work on off camera. And then up here is the cannon room. We are in creative mode right now, by the way, and that's why there's wither skulls here. And a lot of this was built in creative mode, but I have a rule. If it's something I'm going to go out and go get anyway, I'll typically build it. Like if I'm trying to build something out of diamond, okay, we're getting into some rocky territory. But as you come out here at the back, we have our actual tower, kind of our turret tower up here. We have cannons up here, which are kind of security ones, but these ones up here are the long range guys, and they're up at the very tippy top. There's 3 floors to this. I'll continue it further down into a basement at some point, but for now, this is basically going to become a storage room for us. We're going to use this base as our own base, and then up here we'll have some, we'll have our bed, and all of our tools, official things. This will be kind of our home. So we'll move out of the tent over there. We'll move over here to our home. So this is the second floor, and then the third floor actually has the turret on it. I only have one turret in. I got to build the other one, but this is kind of the long-range turret. You got to use your imagination just a little bit. Until we get some blackstone in here, this is the best that I can do for now. But I'm open to suggestions. So if you have a suggestion, throw it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. But they have kind of some panoramic windows here. The island here, and the 4 different ports that we have here in the area. So we got this one, 2 more over here, and so we have that. But so this tower is actually taller than the actual building over there. Something like this would have been used for kind of an outlook tower. You'd have a guy up here with a telescope, telling you if there was other naval ships coming, and they would be looking over the water, and there'd be several of them. And so, but that is that, and that's the base. It's taken a lot longer to build because this is a fairly decent size build. But now that it's done, I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with how it looks. We'll do a little fly out really quick. So, going in line with some of the pictures that I saw, that's kind of where the base of this actually came from. That one's been textured a little bit. This one needs to be textured, but the bottom of the bases went down. If it was on a hillside, they would go all the way down to the ground level. And so I kind of did the same thing here, and the same thing with the tower here. The tower took some inspiration from a couple different sources on that. But yeah, this is I'm very, very happy with how it came out, and I hope you enjoy it. It's really nice to look at. So, but we got some more work to do on it. I'll be doing a lot of that off camera, just kind of as we go. I don't want to bore you with the details of it. However, if you want to see a detailing video, I'm all for it. We can go back and take a look at some of the previous detail work that I've done. But yeah, so we're gonna move out of this camp. We're gonna move up into the fort, and get started on our Minecrafting journey. Let's go over here and sit next to the campfire for a minute. Boop. Hello? Hello? Boop. So there we have it. That's it. You can kind of see it in the back there. Oh, I need to add flags to it. Ooh, we should do that. I'll do that. I'll do that for next episode. But so speaking of the next episode, we're gonna go to the Nether. We are in the 1.16 Nether update. The Nether update. And so we actually have to go to the Nether and battle our way through. I am terrified because it looks terrifying. I was always bad at the Nether to begin with, but now I'm going to be even worse. So we're going to get all geared up next episode and head into the Nether. Should be a quicker episode because, well, I mean, we'll spend a few hours down in the Nether, but you won't get to see those few hours. You only get to see about 15 minutes of it. So we'll do that. We'll see if we get some netherite armor going on. I typically don't wear armor, as you can see here. But yeah, so we got some plans going on, and then the episode after that we'll actually start some city planning, which will be it won't be the next episode. It'll be the episode after that. We'll clear out all these trees that you see around here, and we'll be doing some palm trees and stuff, and you'll see a video on that here before long as well, because I'll have to build a bunch of them. But anyway, that about wraps everything up for me today. Make sure if you like this video, hit that like button, and if you really liked it, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button. It'll tell you every time I upload a video, which is occasionally right now. And yeah, stay tuned. We got the next episode, Nether episode, and then the episode after that we'll be doing some city planning. So leave a comment down there and let me know what you think. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see, and we're just gonna float up here. Look at that beautiful sunset. Anyway, thanks so much. Appreciate you guys. We will see you on the next episode.